The burning of the beloved witch called Serena at the stake by the church sparked the fire of vengeance, and the witches all over the world rose up in response. The kingdom of Wenias called upon mercenaries to help them in subjugating the witches. It is during one of many witch burnings that a white-furred beast-fallen suddenly gets attacked by a band of humans. Beast-fallen are the chance offspring of humans, which have the appearance of half humans and half beasts. Their bodies are used as components for sorcery, which results in large bounties getting placed on their heads. After getting rid of the humans, the same beast-fallen gets chased down by a witch in the nearby forest, declaring how he hates witches. While running, he falls down a cliff and crashes into the camp of a white-haired girl, destroying the pot of soup she was cooking. Before he can explain himself, the witch chasing him comes after. Not wanting to leave the girl behind to the witch, he grabs her and runs away. The girl is surprised that he decided to take her, and she quickly shows that she needed no protection as she casts a spell of her own, revealing to be a witch as well. Her spell stops the pursuing witch, but also ends up scaring the beast-fallen. After getting away, he sets up camp and starts preparing a meal for himself. Suddenly, the girl shows up and demands that he shares his food with her, as he is responsible for ruining her soup. Her sudden appearance scares the beast-fallen and he starts to run, but she tells him that she can see his human face underneath the sorcery, which turned him into a beast-fallen. While eating, the girl explains that she is looking for her comrade named 13, who is searching for a very important book which got stolen from her. The book in question could spell the end of the world if it falls into wrong hands. It turns out she has taken a liking to the beast-fallen, so she demands for him to become her guard for the time being. She offers to turn him back into a human once they would retrieve the book. It is then that they introduce themselves to each other. The witch's name is Zero, but just as the beast-fallen is about to introduce himself, she stops him. Because she does not want to be tempted by knowing his name, she decides to call him mercenary from now on. Zero states that she feels 13's mana coming from the royal capital Plasta. With that knowledge, the two of them set out, and on the way, Zero explains that the book she is looking for is a book on magic, which is more advanced and easy to use compared to sorcery. She gives him a practical example of the difference between the two as a large boar charges at them, showcasing the superiority of magic. With the boar defeated, Zero notices the witch from before stalking them, stating how that witch set the boar onto them. Zero catches the witch by surprise, revealing that the witch is in fact a young boy. The boy wants to get the mercenary's head for use in sorcery, and as he invokes magic of his own. But Zero suddenly denies him the use of that magic with her own spell, canceling it out entirely. She declares that the magic he uses is the same magic she developed, and after subduing him, she forces him to tell her where he learned this magic. He reveals there is a group of sorcerers who are learning from the holy Grimoire of Zero. Zero shocks both the mercenary and the boy, revealing that it is in fact her who wrote that book, with the desire to make magic more accessible to the world. Upon learning that their special book was written by Zero, the boy gives them his witch name, Albus. Albus asks Zero to join their cause. However, Zero does not give him a direct answer, only thinking of getting her book back and finding 13. Revealing that the sorcerers of Zero believe the person who wrote the book is called him, as that person is working hard to spread magic all over the kingdom. Mercenary gets upset, knowing that the book was stolen from Zero, but Zero stops him from revealing anything more. Under the pretense of being friendly with the one called him, Zero has Albus lead them to the nearest sorcerer's hideout. Arriving in a close-by village, they are suddenly accused of being thieves, as the ring Albus is carrying turns out to be the same ring an old woman from the village is missing. Without giving them a chance to explain themselves, villagers turn onto the trio, only escalating the hostilities once they hear Albus stand up for the witch they had burned in the past, Serena. The three of them escape from the village, but the villagers are giving pursuit. Zero forbids Albus from using magic to kill them, as that will only serve to fuel more hatred down the line. Even with Mercenary carrying the two witches, they only get a short respite from the pursuing mob. Since the villagers are local to the forest, they end up cutting off the trio's escape paths. But it is then that the old woman whose ring was missing finds them. She leads them out of the woods using a secret path. Mercenary is surprised that she found them so easily, and it is then that she reveals she can use sorcery, as she used to be Serena's daughter before she gave up her calling and married an ordinary human. The ring was a wedding gift from Serena to her, and Albus is happy to return it to her. Arriving at the next town, Formicum, the trio has no problem passing through the checkpoint, despite the conflict with the witches, as the guards believe the Beast-fallen is here to help them hunt the witches down. In the city, they go shopping for new clothes so that Zero would look less suspicious. Their search for lodgings proves harder than expected, as none of the inns want to take in a Beast-fallen, worried about their spontaneous fits of hunger, which can cause them to devour humans. While on their search, they meet a wolf-headed beast felon who directs them towards a place that accepts their kin. Upon settling in the inn, Albus retires to sleep while Mercenary sneaks out to have some drinks. Zero quickly follows after, upset that he tried to go enjoy the nightlife without her. While out drinking, the same beast felon from before shows up, accompanied by 3 girls who turn out to be his slaves. Zero and Mercenary decide to follow after him and free the slaves, but the beast felon catches them in the act. He challenges Mercenary to a duel, and the victor would get to have the other one's women. Zero agrees to the idea, offering herself up as prize if Mercenary is to lose. The duel is decided quickly, and the wolf-faced beast felon is defeated with ease. Admitting defeat, he allows Mercenary to free the 3 slave girls. They return to their inn room after an eventful night out. While taking a bath, Zero helps Mercenary clean his thick fur coat. Just as she is scrubbing his back, she places a spell upon him. Mercenary notices that she is doing something and questions her, but Zero only deflects the question with a joke. After getting out through the city gates, they find a couple of kids, with one of them being hurt thanks to some unfriendly beast felon. Deciding to help them, Zero uses magic to heal the injured girl's ankle, while Mercenary covers up the witchery at work with his first aid skills. Continuing their journey, they slowly start getting closer to each other as they overcome various challenges that come their way. As they approach the village of Latet, where the sorcerer's hideout is located, the trio notices that something is amiss. Taking a look upon the village is enough to see that something horrific transpired here, with the villagers' dead bodies being scattered all over the streets. After investigating the city, it becomes clear that magic was at work here, and no one was spared. Albus reasons that rogue witches must have attacked. Since sorcerers of Zero teach magic to all who are willing to learn, some of them turn evil after gaining the power. Just as Zero is wondering who then killed the rogue witches, they are attacked by a band of looters. Mercenary takes them out quickly, and they reveal that it was indeed witches who were behind the attack. Albus sees that they were taking the precious gems from his fallen comrades, so in a fit of rage attempts to kill the looters. However, Zero is able to convince him not to, as the looters had nothing to do with the deaths of the witches here. Moving on to the hideout, they find out that the Grimoire of Zero is missing. The chambers where the one who calls himself him is supposed to be are also empty, making them wonder if anyone even lived in these chambers. It turns out that Serena's granddaughter is not among the bodies either, so Zero and Mercenary believe she must have escaped with a book. Searching through the hideout, they find a badly injured comrade of the sorcerers of Zero, with whom Albus is familiar with. Albus quickly goes to heal him with magic, and the man reveals that a mysterious man walked into the hideout. Every witch that attacked him suddenly turned to dust in front of his eyes. The man thanks Albus for trying and draws his final breath shortly thereafter, succumbing to his bad injuries despite the healing. On their way out, Zero reasons that the person who killed the rogue witches is different from the ones that fought with the sorcerers of Zero. This makes Albus think of 13. Shocked that Albus knows this name, Mercenary has little time to question him as a summoning spell suddenly activates, triggered by that word, dragging the 3 of them into the depths. As a side effect of the spell, Mercenary gets trapped in his bad memories, but Zero is able to snap him out of them before his soul is ripped from his body, revealing that they have been forcefully summoned to another place. Zero states that she knows only 2 people capable of using that spell, one being her master and the other being 13. Just as she reasoned, it turns out they find themselves in front of 13. He explains that he did not choose to summon them, but the spell was set as a trap for anyone who speaks his name in that location. 13 wonders why Zero left the cave, but before they can continue their reunion, Albus interferes, wondering why Zero knows a sorcerer of the state. It turns out that 13 is employed by the kingdom to serve as their court sorcerer, commanding the entire sorcerers in the state unit. He is furious at the sorcerers of Zero who have sullied her name with their rebellion, so he uses his own power to oppose them. While Mercenary starts to question him, 13 gets upset at his familiarity with Zero and casts a spell on him. Zero jumps in to defend Mercenary from 13, which starts their duel. Their powers seem to be about evenly matched as they clash, but their fight comes to an abrupt end with the sound of dinner bells ringing. Both of them stop to go eat, which leaves Albus and Mercenary speechless. It is then that 13 reveals that they have been teleported inside of the royal palace where he resides. Responding to Zero's questions, he elaborates that he is doing this to retrieve Zero's grimoire, as the book is being used by the sorcerers of Zero. Albus protests, declaring how the sorcerers of Zero are only trying to live in peace, but 13 points out the fact that they only run around killing countless innocents under the pretense of getting justice. To prevent this from escalating, 13 wants to bring all the witches under the control of the state. While he is doing that, he wants Albus to join him and Zero to return to her cave where she is to wait for him. If Albus refuses to join, he will be burned at the stake just like any other rogue witch. All of this confuses Albus, and so Zero reveals that the leader of the sorcerers of Zero, and one they call him, has in fact killed all the witches in her cave except for her and 13 and stole the Grimoire. This makes Albus think that he has no comrades and is only being used. However, Zero refuses to return to the cave, upset at 13 for using forbidden magic against the sorcerers of Zero. Reasoning that she is responsible for the chaos caused by her book, she will be the one to retrieve it. When the night falls, 13 calls Mercenary to have a chat with him. During this chat, he uses his magic to make the seed of fear grow into doubt inside of him. Explaining that witches only want to use others for their own benefit, he gives him a potion that will undo any magic, including the magic that has him appear like a beast. Stating that this is a sign of thanks for keeping Zero safe, but now he is to leave if he values his own life, because Zero will only end up using his body as magical component once she has no more use of him. Thanks to his silver tongue, he is able to stir Mercenary's emotions, making him fear Zero and decide to run away. While he is trying to get away, Zero finds and confronts him. Seeing the fear in his eyes, she uses her own magic to dispel 13's influence, setting Mercenary's mind free. But even so, knowing that 13's magic only works if the target has doubt of his own hurts her. In light of that, she sets Mercenary free of his blood oath, telling him to leave and never return. Hey, thank you for staying all the way till the end. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. It takes only a second, but it means everything to us. Have a great day and see you in the next video.